Hey guys, still walking to my location. And the area I'm in has got this little stream here. It's very wet, very marshy. And I wanted to share with you guys something really quick. Up here in the Northeast, we have what we like to call fiddleheads. And basically they're baby ferns. And fiddleheads are kind of, I don't know exactly how to, they're kind of like a spinach mixed with like a green bean flavor, I'd say. I've heard them described that way, and I would definitely agree. And for me, there's a big indication of fiddleheads when you see these. These are the seeds or the spores, I guess you would say, of the fern. And when these stay year-round, and when you see those kicking around, that's a really good sign that you're gonna have fiddleheads. Now, there's a couple different kinds of ferns. Obviously, there's more than one kind of fern. So let me show you guys. First off, you don't really want to eat something like this. Now this white stuff here is like a fir, and that is a good indication that that's not the fern these are not the ferns you're looking for, okay? You are gonna be looking for a fern, if you want fiddleheads, something like this right here. And what this is you're gonna see this kind of papery brown stuff, kind of keeping the fern intact there. And these, which are kind of popping up all over, these are totally edible. So I might harvest some of these on the way back and cook them up in my house. I really like fiddleheads, and it's good just to kind of get an opportunity to eat something out of the wild when you get the chance. So here you can see some more. So these ones, you don't want to eat anything that has red or white hairs on it. I'm sure in a survival situation you could eat those ferns. Totally could. But they're not the same kind. These are ostrich ferns, like this, okay? Ostrich ferns are the ones you want. So, just remember, ferns can save your life one day. I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled for wild leeks. We call them ramps around here. And LRP Outdoors, actually, one of my, somebody I'm subscribed to and somebody who subscribes to me, found some wild leeks in one of his videos. And those are actually really good. They're kind of like an onion. So I wouldn't mind finding some of those and then using some of these fiddleheads and making like a little wild dish. So we'll see if we can find some for you guys, and I'm gonna keep heading towards base camp, so I'll check back with you guys in just a sec. So we're gonna go up there and check it out. I wanted to also show you guys really quick. This is a wildflower. It's called trillium. Trillium grows all over the place, at least in the United States. I'm sure it does in Canada as well. Trillium is easy to identify as a flower. Obviously, you know, when it has a flower on it, it's pretty easy. Everything's segmented in threes, so you're gonna see there's 3 of these smaller leaves here, then 3 of these bigger leaves here. That's how you kind of identify the flower. But also you'll see these leaves, and this is a trillium that hasn't bloomed yet. Now, obviously they're beautiful. They're really, really amazing flowers. They come in all different colors. So you can see some of these maroon trillium right next to blue and yellow trillium, which is a really great color. But what I like about trillium is it's a good indicator that there's wild edibles around. It likes to grow in areas that a certain couple types of mushrooms like to grow in on the ground. Also, they like to grow in the same area as ramps and fiddleheads. Just the moisture in the soil and everything is correct. Also, holy smokes, this worm. What's up, wormy? If I was fishing right now, this worm would be amazing. Here, we'll put the worm on the trillium. How majestic. I actually really don't like worms. Can't believe I just picked that guy up. He's kind of gross. Look at him, he's like, hey, GoPro. But also, right over there is a fiddlehead. I believe that's the edible kind. Let's take a quick look. Alright, where did I just saw it. Where did it go? Uh-oh, folks. We've lost the fiddlehead. Oh. Oh, here it is. I don't think that is the edible kind. It's a little too hairy for my liking. So I've seen 3 different kinds of fiddleheads out here. It just goes to show you want to be careful when identifying plants. I'm not gonna eat any yet, but I might, if I find some nice looking ones, bring some home. And I think I'll come back here in a couple days because The fiddleheads are out. They're starting to pop up. Oh wow, here's another trillium. Look at him, he's beautiful. So we're gonna work our way across, and I will bring you guys back when we get to base camp, baby. Woo! But I just want to show you guys a good example. Here is a fiddlehead you could eat. Here's another one. And these are the seed pods for the ostrich ferns, so I know this is an area where they're gonna pop up. Here's another one. These are all edible. These right here, I have not ever seen before. Those do not look edible. Those might be the same ones, just gone bad. This one you could eat if you wanted to. It's a little small. But right next to, you can see these are all grouped together here. And this one's a little dark and scary. These ones are edible. And then we're gonna move over. So right now we've seen two different kinds of ferns grouped together. Here's a third. You would not want to eat that, I'm going to assume. And then here's a fourth kind. So unfortunately, the edible kind so far has proven to be the one that's not here. There are a few, but you know, we've got a lot of these white fluffy ones, and I do see these quite a bit when I am looking for fiddleheads. But it's just good to know that anywhere you can go out, and if you know what to look for, you can find something to eat. So that is pretty awesome. And fiddleheads are delicious. So I will catch you guys in just a sec. We're gonna get to base camp. YouTube, what's going on, guys? This is the first really good patch here of fiddleheads. I'm gonna harvest some of these and I'm gonna bring them home, and then I will show you guys a little later how to prepare and cook and eat. You don't want to take all of the fiddleheads from one batch. You want to leave a few at least. So I'm gonna take some, and then I will bring you back probably a little later, maybe for a different video. But yeah, these right here are wild fiddleheads, easily identifiable, and yeah, they look wicked tasty. Oh, just snapped one off there. So that's what you're gonna want to bring home with you, and a little butter, and these things are good to go. These are called ostrich ferns, and you want to cook the baby ones. And I'll bring you guys back when I get to the house, and I will cook these for you. All right, guys, and this is what I've been looking for right here. I found the honey hole for these fiddleheads. You can see a bunch. There's some here, there's some there, over there, and some over there. So I'm gonna harvest up some more of these. I was kind of scared that I wasn't gonna be able to find some more at least to harvest. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pick, that one's a little past its prime. I'm just gonna pick 3 or 4 out of the group and leave some of the smaller ones to keep growing. Maybe that one there. And what I'll do is I'll take these home and I'll prepare them up, and either today or tomorrow I will have some delicious fiddleheads, and I'll bring you guys along for that. So thank you guys for watching, and as spring progresses, I'll bring you more wild edibles and how to prepare them. So stay tuned, like and comment down below, and thank you so much for watching. YouTube, what's going on, guys? So I've made it back to the house. I've got my fiddleheads. It's actually the next day. So I'm gonna show you guys really quick what I do to prepare these fiddleheads. I'm gonna cook them up and eat some for lunch. So I'm gonna put you guys right there. The first thing that we're gonna do is, the fiddleheads have this papery covering. It's kind of hard to get off just with your hands. This is kind of what the end product is going to look like. It still has some of the papery covering, and you can just kind of peel it off, but it's not the end of the world if you eat a little papery covering. But what I like to do is just take the fiddlehead in some cold water and just kind of swoosh it around, and that's going to help get rid of some of this goopy stuff. And you want to keep as much of the fern intact as you can. That's where the flavor and the protein is. But this brown stuff, once it gets wet, it turns into sludge, and you can kind of scrape it off with your fingers. So we don't need the whole stem, so I'm going to break it off just about there. You can see these are kind of hard to get off when they're dry or when they're wet, so I just prefer to do it when they're kind of soaking wet. and just peel them. Use your fingernails and then give them a swoosh around in the water. These little furries are kind of, they look like ostrich feathers. I guess that's probably why they call it an ostrich fern. And when you're identifying these, a few of the things you're looking for, the stem here, it's got it's round, and then right here it's got this indent. Most other ferns are going to have a completely round stem. You're looking for one with an indent in it. You're also looking for that brown papery covering. And the spore pods that are around are a good indication as well, so look for the spore pods. It's kind of interesting that ferns, they don't use seeds, they use spores. And that's another reason you want to leave some of these when you harvest is if you take all the ferns, they won't be able to send their spores out, and you won't have any more fiddleheads. So it's all about keeping the fiddleheads around and keeping the wild edibles around. This is the last one. Break off the stem. There we go. Sweet. So, preparation for these is super easy. Alright. First thing you're going to need is a lot of butter. If you ever cooked Brussels sprouts or something similar to that, it's quite the same. We'll do the good old-fashioned camp tripod here. Beautiful. What you want to do is let the butter melt a little. Turn the heat down once you got it all melted, and then you're just going to let it kind of saute and simmer up. And these have a really nice green flavor to them. Woohoo! Now, out in the wild without butter, these probably aren't going to taste the greatest. A lot of people, they just smother them in butter. Some things I would probably do is I'd probably look for some pine needles or something to throw in and kind of basically not mask but complement the green flavor. I'm gonna go grab some salt and pepper, and I'll bring you guys back when they're almost done. Oh yeah. We're going into hot sear mode. Look out. And then we'll put them on our little cup. Let them cool down for just a second. And there you have it, guys, a little bushcraft snack. Now, fiddleheads only come around for a couple weeks, maybe a month out of the year, so I really like to get them while I can. I might put too much salt on them, honestly. It's kind of salty. But they have like a very spinachy flavor and texture. And they're very green tasting, which I like. So I might go out and harvest some more. So most of these I was lucky to find, but there's a lot of baby ones popping up. These are unreal. Super expensive too. These are like $4 or $5 a pound around here. I'm sure if you ship these anywhere where they don't have fiddleheads, they'd be worth quite a bit. One thing is, I wish I could get the papery cover off a little more. I think if you do that right when you harvest them in the field, it's probably a little easier. But it doesn't really affect the taste too much. Hopefully the paper covering isn't poisonous or anything. But thank you guys for watching. As the spring progresses, I'll be cooking and bringing you guys more wild edibles. Definitely gonna have an oyster mushroom festival here once the oyster mushrooms are here. So, like, comment, subscribe, and have a wonderful day, guys.